Ramal Silach and Sose say, Na ya yoishi bashamoy minechine bodim al yad adonim, Ken yishiv chol yad gevir tokein, Enenu el adonenu shechonenu chonenu adonenu, Kirav sabanevuz rab, Asobel nafshena lagashananim, Habuz lige yoinim. Let's give some tzedakah. Tzedakah is the remedy for all the problems. Rebbeinu Shalom. Genug shoin, enough problems, finally. Bring us the redemption with Mashiach. What are we waiting for? What are you waiting for? Make it happen. Now, I looked up in the Google some entries on Independence Day. So here it says, a holiday celebrating the beginnings of a nation's independence, especially July 4th, observed as a legal holiday in the U.S. in honor of the adoption of the Declaration of Independence in 1776. The Israeli Declaration of Independence is another entry. The Israeli Declaration of Independence, formerly the Declaration of the Establishment of the State of Israel, was proclaimed on the 14th of May in 1948, the fifth day of the month of Iyar, by David Ben-Gurion, the executive head of the World Zionist Organization, chairman of the Jewish Agency for Palestine, and soon to be first Prime Minister of Israel. It declared the establishment of the Jewish state in Eretz Israel to be known as the State of Israel, which will come into effect on termination of the British mandate at midnight that day. So indeed, it was a very important moment in Jewish history. A miraculous moment. But there's a certain caveat to it. And let me explain. We became independent, we as a Jewish nation, 3,335 years ago, when God sent Moses and Aaron to free us from Egyptian bondage. And since then, we are celebrating every year on the 14th day of the month of Nisan, the festival of Pesach, the festival of our independence. For 40 years, he led us in the desert, and then Joshua brought us into the land that God had promised to Abraham that his children, we, the Jewish people, will inherit and own this land forever. True, we've had our ups and downs, times of peace and prosperity, the holy temples, the kings and kingdoms. And we also had times of suffering, and still have, destruction of both temples, exiles, tortures, holocausts, displacement, being foreigners in lands around the globe. But all these trials and tribulations has not diminished or weakened our ownership to the land of Israel. At no time has God or we relinquished this contractual connection between the Jewish people and the holy land of Eretz Israel. So it's ours for a long time. Now, as far as the word independence in itself, presumably independence means self-governance, full authority and decision-making according to my interest and needs, without interference or dictates of others. No one can force their foreign interest and needs and wants on an independent state or a person. So, my friends, painfully, is the state of Israel really independent? Look at what's happening now. 7.5 months the Israeli army is trying to destroy Hamas and has still not finished the job. Why? Not because it is incapable, because unfortunately it's dependent, or at least psychologically, on America or other supposed friends. Is this independence? Thousands of Jewish lives have been lost in the many wars Israel had to fight, and in ongoing terrorist attacks, in great part because of the lack of independence from relying and listening to the dictates of our supposed friends. Our friends dictate us in a way that they wouldn't dare to do to any other, even banana republic. And sadly, the majority of the Israeli leaders fall to those dictates and smile. Further, celebrating 50th year as our independence is actually self-defeating, because that gives legitimacy to the UN, saying that our hold on the land of Israel is because Balfour Declaration or the vote in the UN. If so, why can't the UN change their mind, as they have done last week? So, my friends, while we thank God for the miracle of Eretz Yisrael, we do not content ourselves with this. And we demand and we beg and we pray and we dance and we sing and we are assured that any moment we will truly be independent with the coming of Mashiach.